form conversation in the offline sense of it. It's Ann Coulter. So, Ann, thanks for coming on, and I'm looking forward to our conversation today.
Me too. Thanks for having me. That was a fantastic opening monologue. I too am a fan of yours. I'm going to make a point of disagreeing with you so that it will be fun. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American Black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during. In fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. We'll get back to that. And it's directly related to what you were just talking about. You know, the thing about nationalism, you're totally right. It is like...
Was Ann Coulter being racist when she said, and I'm paraphrasing here, I agree with many things that you said when you were running for president, but I still wouldn't vote for you because you're an Indian? Well, the answer is no. Just hear me out, all right? Hear me out. But the answer is no. She does make a racist comment later on in the video when she describes Antifa BLM protesters as mentally ill and BLM black protesters as criminals for committing the exact same crime. But we'll react to that a little bit later. First, let's deal with this matter. Does being a ethno-nationalist make you a racist? And my answer is no. What is ethno-nationalism? Ethno-nationalism is the belief, theory, or doctrine that shared ancestry, language, religion, culture of one group are the principal elements of a cohesive national identity. So why do I say this is not racist? This is not racist because that's how every nation, country is formed. Every nation is formed out of one group who has shared ancestry, religion, language, culture, etc. I would hate to go to an African country like, say, Nigeria or Angola and see the culture, religion, language eroding away because of civic nationalism, which is what Vivek Ramaswamy is pushing for, which I don't necessarily have a problem with as long as immigrants coming into the country always remember that just because America gives you citizenship and you declare your loyalty to the country, it doesn't make you a ethno-nationalist. You're still an immigrant, a visitor to the descendants of the founders of the country, even if you're made to feel otherwise. She later in the video did say, apart from liking his views, that she would vote for him if one of his family members were to later mix with the WASP. WASP meaning White Anglo-Saxon Protestants. White Anglo-Saxon Protestants were the people escaping persecution from Europe due to the period of Enlightenment and fled to America, where they founded America. I think what she's trying to do by saying, I wouldn't vote for you because you're an Indian, is in a sense preserve, not lose the identity of the people that founded America. I think that's what she's really trying to say when she says that. Now, let's react to what I think was a racist comment from Ann Coulter. Vivek Ramaswamy asked this question.
At the time, who is actually showing up at these BLM protests across the country, the mostly peaceful protests that were somehow riots that were burning down cities? And I think that, I mean, push back on me if you see it differently, but I have some conviction on this. That was not in any sense of the word any majority or even significant plurality or even significant minority led by immigrants. I mean, these are self-hating people who have been in this country for generations, whether they're of black or white skin.
And here's Ann Coulter's answer.
I don't think that BLM, you agree with me on the BLM piece?
No.
Summer of 2020 was not immigrants. So you don't agree with me even on that?
Well, I would never have said it was particularly immigrants, but yeah. There were two different groups. First, you had the, and I think it would often go Antifa, i.e. mentally ill, white people, some immigrants. Actually, there were a fair number of immigrants, by the way. I don't know about the per capita.
You might be right about that. I just give you my impression.
They are definitely, the main distinguishing feature wasn't immigrants or non-immigrants. It was mentally ill. That's the Antifa group. And then you had, again, warning, hate fact coming. Then you would have just straight out black criminals. And I'm sorry, but for whatever reason, you and I think, would blame the Great Society program and paying women to have children out of wedlock. But African Americans commit per capita a disproportionate amount of crime, and that then you'd see them coming through and doing the looting. And I'm not sure it would always go Antifa smashes the windows, criminals or black criminals do the looting, but it was something like that most of the time. A fair number of the mentally ill ones, at least out in the Pacific Northwest, were definitely immigrants. Main distinguishing factor was mentally ill, and then.
So let me get this right. Antifa, mentally ill. Blacks, criminals. Antifa smashes the windows, black criminals do the looting. I'm sorry, but that's racism. Smashing windows is a crime which makes Antifa criminals. But according to Coulture, smashing windows is not a criminal enough offense to label Antifa criminals. Let me tell you how bad of a reputation Antifa has in the world stage. On May 31st, 2020, Trump went as far as announcing that he would designate Antifa as a terrorist organization. This is the organization that Coulture is protecting. Think about it. To label someone as mentally ill is literally to excuse them from their wrongdoings. And that's what Coulture is doing when she labels Antifa as mentally ill instead of criminals. Why couldn't she say that black BLM protesters are also mentally ill since they were engaging in the same criminal activity as Antifa BLM protesters? And the answer is she wants black people to be viewed in a negative light. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. All right? Peace.